Bitcoin crashes down through $30,000 on its way to a $24,000 target that we've been talking about, simultaneously crushing our short-term bullish dreams. But really, is this move something to actually worry about? What is up, everyone? Welcome to Crypto Capital Venture. Hit that like, hit that subscribe on the way in. It means a lot to me. Welcome to my hotel studio. Thank you for the patience as we're still traveling here. Let's jump into the Bitcoin video. Everybody, first off, I'll answer the question. No, this is not something to worry about. At least in my opinion, I'm certainly not worried. In fact, on the flip side, I'm kind of more comfortable in these environments. And if you've been watching my YouTube channel, you probably know why. I like to see Bitcoin repeat itself. I like to see Bitcoin and consistency historically, based on historical data. And that's what we're getting right here. Here's the bull market. Here's the last bull market, the last bull market cycle. Going into this bull market, which we just entered, I should say, we said and we anticipated just similar volatility to downside, similar consolidation patterns to downside. And finally, all the way up here, we're getting it. A few weeks here of consolidation, and we can see what it looks like. We've fallen into a symmetrical triangle pattern. We've just been tracking like crazy. We anticipated a pullback from this area down here. We got the pullback to the symmetrical triangle. We were also tracking the most bullish short-term case, which obviously didn't play out, but that would have been a busted symmetrical triangle, Bitcoin breaking through to the upside. It would have been ultra bullish in the short term. It just didn't play out, right? We got immediate resistance. And if we go to an hourly chart, we can just see how it played out, right? Here's that swing high before this last big drop, right? Swing high to this swing low. Bitcoin came up, tested the Fibonacci resistance, and failed. Very simple. And simultaneously, this was pretty much the pullback move, and Bitcoin failed to break above that Fibonacci resistance, the apex, and everything else going on there in terms of resistance. So it failed. We've come down, and you can see Bitcoin right now just breaking through $30,000, and here we are, right? And I think there's probably a lot of people out there that might be kind of newer to Bitcoin. They're like, oh my goodness, especially if they bought all up in here in the symmetrical triangle, right? Maybe up in here, maybe the all-time high over there. But we don't know what's going to happen with Bitcoin. First of all, I should say that, right? None of this is financial advice, but long-term, I'm so bullish. But when we're looking at the zoomed in charts, you're going to be on a roller coaster ride of emotions. And that's why I sort of just did a quick glimpse at the long-term macro charts, because this is really what's going on. And this is, in my opinion, very bullish for Bitcoin. It truly is bullish for Bitcoin. But before we get to that long-term chart, I do want to break down Bitcoin on the daily. What's happening right now? Bitcoin's testing the 50-day moving average, a very key area of support. In the midterm, an area that we want to see Bitcoin stay above. Now, if Bitcoin hits its $24,000 area target, Bitcoin will be falling below that area, and that's okay, and we're going to talk about that. But alongside of this, I want to just discuss some rules in terms of the symmetrical triangle. We've tracked all of the data on the symmetrical triangle, all the rules, and there are some more rules I want to discuss, namely the pullback. Now, Bulkowski, a lot of his data I adjust it a little bit to kind of fit Bitcoin, the volatility of Bitcoin. But when we're looking at this 65% rule pullback, meaning 65% of the time you see a pullback on a symmetrical triangle, which is one reason why we anticipated the pullback of the symmetrical triangle, and we got it right here. But there's more to that rule. Now, let's look at this. Do pullbacks hurt performance? Now, this is extremely important. The answer is yes. 91% of chart pattern types with downward breakouts perform better if pullback does not occur. Look for underlying support before taking a position in a stock. Now, basically, a pullback of a symmetrical triangle, like we got, hurts the performance to the targets. Meaning there's no guarantee $24,000 target is coming, right? And I know there will be some people out there like, dude, Dan, you're always saying it could happen, it couldn't happen. You don't know what you're talking about. And that's, you know what? I don't know what's going to happen, everybody. The $24,000 target is there in that extreme case volatility. We hit the target. I have my plan of action. It's just for weeks been in the back of my mind. That's why I do technical analysis. My action actually, following Bitcoin charts, is actually my action being taken on altcoins right now. I probably won't take any action on Bitcoin in that environment. I'll be taking action more on altcoins. But that's the environment I'm waiting for. I'm anticipating the target's there. It's realistic and it doesn't worry me at all. Now, but what he's talking about is kind of be careful in terms of if you get a pullback on a symmetrical triangle, which we got, don't be so quick to short Bitcoin. Look for underlying support pretty much in the short term, right? And if we go and we look at underlying support, for me, I have a few areas kind of I'm watching for Bitcoin right now, and that is really this previous swing low, right? So we might have a kind of this double swing low. This is right in the 28,000 right there, 28,700 or so. And then we have this area, this swing low where there's a lot of buying, and these are some clues, 27,600. A lot of buying happening on this daily candle. And even on this daily candle here in the 28,700 area. So basically that entire area, and let me zoom in a little bit, is kind of this area of support I'm really watching on the short term for Bitcoin. 28,700 down to around $27,600. These are two areas of support. If Bitcoin just, cruises, if Bitcoin hits the $24,000 target, I think it's going to be an environment where Bitcoin just crushes right through that area of support. But on the short term, let's see if there's a bounce in these areas, right? We had these really solid looking daily candles on both times. What will this day bring us? Will it be tomorrow when this is tested? Will it be tested at all? But essentially, $24,000 target is just so in play right now, and I have my action that I will be taking on altcoins in that environment. That's why we do technical analysis. What I want to talk about is this. If that target is hit, I just really like this move, and this is I've talked about in recent videos, this move of summer of 2017 in the middle of the bull market, the last bull market. Bitcoin making a very big drop, right? Simultaneously breaking that 50-day moving average could look very bearish if we didn't have all of this data that tells us what happens next. This move looking really kind of scary, if you want to put it bluntly. From that swing high to that swing low, Bitcoin was down 40%, 41%. Now, if we compare this swing high currently that we just had at the beginning of January to the current swing low, we're down 30%. To our target, $24,000, around 42%. The move, if Bitcoin makes the move, will be so harmonious with that last Bitcoin bull run pullback. It will be crazy. And what we'd be watching on the daily chart is a bounce. And remember, I said you don't want to stay under the 50-day moving average for long in the short term, in the midterm. Bitcoin bounced, got right back above, and saw support. That's what you want to see. Do not want to see continued resistance under the 50-day moving average. So this is probably the biggest key out of everything in the next week or so. We want to watch for Bitcoin. How does it interact with this blue line, the 50-day moving average? And will Bitcoin see resistance under it if we fall below? Or, even in the short term, will Bitcoin actually just see support above it? That could be ultra bullish. But don't be too, worried in the short term if Bitcoin does fall below the 50-day moving average, continue that $24,000 target. Very normal for Bitcoin. So I want to just paint this picture for you all. Bull market high, 2017, bear market low that we just came out of, right? Bull market doors in green right there. Bull market high of 2013 to the bear market low. Here's the last cycle, bull market doors in green. You see this Fibonacci retracement, resistance, bull market doors. And Bitcoin broke those doors. Bitcoin recently broke those doors. I'm painting this picture in case there's new people out there. We are in the bull market cycle. And we've already discussed these drops, these dips are normal. They're consolidation areas for Bitcoin. But I just want to show you in terms of Bitcoin cycles, we're more here in this part of the cycle, right here. We're not so much right here, the end of the bull cycle. And I just want to note that in terms of historical context for Bitcoin, it's very important. So wanted to throw that out there. And then if we just look at, and I really like this, the consolidation on the RSI. You can see the RSI officially out of overbought territory on the weekly chart. And actually, if I change this to the daily chart, check out the daily. The daily really coming down almost into this area, into this what I like to call buy the dip area on the daily RSI, oversold on the Bitcoin momentum oscillator. So, and you can even look at the quicker moving momentum oscillator, the stock RSI, and you can see Bitcoin's already in oversold. So Bitcoin's approaching this territory, and for some is there for that buy the dip territory. For me, I'm not there just yet. My altcoin buy the dip scenarios are waiting, and it really is dependent on what Bitcoin's about to do. So wanted to wrap it up, kind of just bring everything together for you. I'm personally not worried. I'm watching Bitcoin very closely right now. These are the areas, where I'm taking action. That's just me. Listen, at the end of the day, nobody knows what's going to happen to everybody. I'm just here having fun doing some videos, sharing the data with you, parts of my plans. I would love if Bitcoin just bounced like right off of here and continued to the upside. I would love that. And it would be so hype. But there are very realistic scenarios for continuation to the $24,000 target. It's why we have the symmetrical triangle. It's why we've been tracking it. So just be careful out there. I appreciate all you cruising by. Hit that subscribe, hit that like. I'll see you in the next video. God bless.